Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on? Thank you all so much for the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it was a pretty good one. Let's see. What is everyone up to? The dogs right now are getting their dinner. Shortly after that, they'll be in here, so don't worry. Never forget Killdozer. Happy Friday. Tomorrow is Ghostbusters Day. Hold on. Time out. Rewind. Okay. I did the Don't Cross the Streams thing just because I thought it was a funny name for a title. But tomorrow is the 82nd anniversary of D-Day. That's the important thing tomorrow. That is the important thing. I imagine those dogs are going to be running down the hallway here. For He's a Jolly Good Fellow, thank you so much. Hello from your friendly neighborhood war criminal. Wolfram, you haven't been on in a little while. I've been playing Roadcraft in some spare time. I actually got a lot done on that map, but there's still a lot more left to do, so... I don't know, maybe we'll play tonight. I don't know. Depends on how everything goes. Obligatory, that word always fucks me up. Engagement comment, hope to get to meet you at Oshkosh next month. Yes, I will be going to Oshkosh, in case you guys were unaware. I don't know how long I'm going to be there. Still ironing out some details. There is a company that kind of wants to do some type of partnership thing with me for like sponsorship. So I'm just finding out, like, I'm going either way. I told them that. I was like, look, either you guys are paying for my ticket or I'm paying for my ticket. So like, I don't really care either way. But someone's got to pay for my way in. And so we will be going to that. Why didn't you let us know you were designated marksman? We need to see a photo. Yeah, I was a designated marksman in Afghanistan, carried an M14 EBR with Leopold Mark IV scope. So I got a little bit of trigger time at distance. I've never reached out further than 1,000 yards. Granted, it was a 308, well, 7.62 by 5.4, or 5.1. 5.1? 5.4. Which one is the NATO one? Is it 5.1 or 5.4? I think 5.4R is Dragunov ammo. 5.1 should be NATO. But 170 grain match grade ammunition, you're not going to be reaching out. I mean, max effective range is like 1,100. So, but the Taliban ain't going to engage you that far anyways. Happy birthday. 36, right? You're all 136. We're all 136 as well. That was a fun little bit I did there with Grandpa Buff. I had a lot of fun making that one. And if you need to see a picture of me as a designated marksman, I have it. I think my banner on YouTube here shows me with my M14. In Britain, it's already the D-Day anniversary, lest we forget their sacrifice. Absolutely. It is. And this is the thing, like, there's all the jokes around D-Day, that it was the largest amphibious assault in human history, which is a fact, but then no Marines were there. There was some Marines there for like planning purposes and things like that. But like that was really the greatest generation. And I think the telltale sign, aside from, like there was a whole lot of background that happened with Operation Overlord, but, bamboozling the Germans and things like that. But I at this point in my life, I realized that both sides really believed in what they were doing. It's just the Allies believed more. And they were just kind of better. In every way. A lot of the Germans were conscripts back then, and didn't necessarily believe in what they were fighting for, and the Allies absolutely did. And they were told you couldn't go home until you defeat fascism. So they did. Happy birthday, take money, get beer. I don't really drink too much anymore unless I'm on unsub, but I got another thing in mind that will inebriate myself. Happy birthday, bro. Wish you many happy years. Your Iranian American buddy. Hey, what's going on, bud? Someone was like, in the initial comments when I first opened this, was like, how long until we stop paying attention to other countries and start taking care of our own? And I agree. However, okay, hear me out. Isolationism has never gone good for the world every time the U.S. does it. And I don't mean like, oh, well, it's their problem. They can fight. They can have wars and shit. That's not the thing. It always ends up in our shores sooner or later. We did it before World War I, and we did it before World War II.
Happy birthday to the best American cultural icon out there. Hope you celebrated accordingly. Much love and respect for all that you do. Do not let the fact that you were born during Canard Month ever get you down. Take care, bro.
Thank you so much, man. Also, I will say there's some, I haven't confirmed it. It's from a YouTuber, but there's a thermal image of what people are thinking is the Next Generation Air Dominance NGAD program, and it has canards. It also kind of reminds me of the XB-70 a little bit, just like with the cockpit style. I mean, it doesn't have fucking massive engines in the back, but it does kind of remind me of that. You want to sponsor with a bad dragon? Puff told me you're so a British cigarette. Oh, come on, man. Buff, why you got to be saying shit like that, man? Why are you telling people the truth? Happy birthday. Franklin took a history cruise of Sydney Harbor on the Zach Bell size subs. Tagged you on X, but I'm guessing you didn't see. No, I didn't. I would have loved to have seen that. I am so sorry. I don't get to see everything I'm tagged in on X. My bad. I love it when you guys share like what you take the Franklins to do. I love that shit because I love life experiences, right? Like as long as I'm breathing and upright and I want to have life experiences. And life experience to me is not like, oh, we're going to go out to the bar and party hard. That's not a life experience, man. Like I'm going to get to do something really cool with Eli and the gang at the end of this month. And I'm very, very excited. Oh, there he is. There's the big buffalo. Hey, what's up? What's up, Stinkums? Oh, and there's your little brother. Okay, hey, you guys want this? You gotta open the stream correctly. Don't yell at me. Hey, watch your language. Who taught you those? Are you gonna tell me? Okay. Just so pumped up, both of them. Hope you had a great birthday, HLC. Celebrating 3-year anniversary with the wife tomorrow. Congratulations. My wife and I will be 6 years at the end of August. So, also going to make a new slur in dedication to Grandpa Buff. I'm listening. Sorry. Hey, HLC, happy birthday. I'm sending you and Mrs. Linecrosser some earrings, ID tags, and some other goodies I 3D printed. Keep up the good work. Hell yeah. I'll take a look, man. US versus Atropia for April Fools. Actually, that's a fucking hilarious idea. I like that idea. I'm going to put that in my brain. I'm not going to forget that. That is... I wonder if I can do that because like Atropia, I might be able to. That's a solid one. Hello from Bangkok. Oh my God. That's it, guys. The CCP's in chat. I'm just, Robert Jones, nothing against you, my dude. Wait, Bangkok is Thailand. I'm retarded. That's that American education there, folks. I have an idea to do American isolationism, get to Mars and set up a big city alongside Japan. Americans will have friends in peace. Bro, you ain't wrong. You are definitely not wrong. Although I do love the Japanese a whole lot. I also understand that Asia in general is like professional level racism. Like my brother lives there and, he's lived there for over 20 years and he loves the Japanese culture. He his wife is Japanese, his kids are half Japanese. But he also understands that he'll never fully be accepted. So I don't know, man. Chaprada, thank you so much as well. Happy birthday, my dude. Can I get a hell yeah? Of course we can get a hell yeah. Oof, so close. I know. I shit now. You think he reads? I'm trying to read. Get a tape recorder dummy idea for a video. Hold on. I'm trying to follow. What do you mean there? Can we please bring Poland? Out of every country on this planet, that would probably be my first one. They'd be like, who else are we bringing? Poland. That's a non-issue. That's happening regardless. Although if we leave for a little while and come back, we might find out that everybody in the world is Polish after we're gone. It's a very, very real possibility. Get a wireless speaker mic and hide it in Buff with a sign that says, talk to me and I'll roast you. Bro, that's actually a really, really good idea. I might be bringing a Bluetooth speaker to Oshkosh. That is hilarious. I really like, I wonder if they'll let me do that. I bet they would. I say Poland, Japan, and oddly enough, Germany. The Germans, I mean, I don't know. I'm not like for, but I'm also not against. Because like, there are sometimes you're like, wow, Germany, that's some cool shit. And other times it's like, you just made the most simple process way more complicated and expensive. That's why I laugh at German engineering. Because there's no in between. There's no like, hey, this is a great idea. This just fits our purpose. It's either like way further ahead than anybody else, or it's so over-engineered, it makes no fucking sense. There's no in between. Colonel Salcazio, thank you so much as well. Happy Canard Day. We get Buff filming Canard Month promotion for British Cigarette Company. Also, we got to get the F-18 giving it. Hell no, I ain't never going to say that. You see what's going on in Britain. Sikh guy stabs dude over. Yeah, no, I mentioned it in the video today. Henry Sovak? Oh my God. Henry. I can't remember his last name off the top of my head. Sorry, I read a lot of stuff. A dude over, racist comments. Police arrest the dead guy, take the murderer out to dinner. There are tons of protests right now. I know. I saw that. Like, this is the thing. I was watching that one. It was on my radar. People had been Novak. Thank you. It was on my radar, and I was like, I kind of want to see what's going on. I've jumped onto something too soon, and then like more facts come out. I'm like, okay, I was wrong, and there was a lot of hype around that, and I usually have to. So that one I've been very, very close watching, and when the body cam footage came out, to me that was very damning. I was like, that. As soon as I saw the body cam footage, I was like, yeah, no. Basically, what they said happened is what fucking happened. Like, there's no in between. There's no. Like, what they did was absolutely wrong. And I understand police procedure, right? I even asked, like, Rich, like, I understand it's a different police force. They're trying to, stabilize the situation. And, this is the thing. If, he even reassured me. He's like, if you roll up and someone says, I've been stabbed, even though they're the aggressor, you slap the handcuffs on and say, where have you been stabbed? And then you immediately start medical procedures. Now, if putting the handcuffs on them puts them in more distress, then of course you have to adjust fire and things like that. And you said Bobby's not cops. What's the difference? That's something I haven't heard before. I have not heard that. Is that a constable? Is that any NFL fans saw the Bears moving to Hammond, Indiana? No shit. Chicago Bears are moving. Call out until the suspect is controlled. Yeah, I saw that too. That quote from the responding officers. Bobbies are the Brit term for them. Oh, okay. My bad. See, Wolfram, you're teaching me things. Look at you go. Handcuffing a stab victim is very bad. That's the thing. If you can't identify, I asked him, he's like, there's some wrong things that they did there, but there's also some right things that they did. I try and, I want a logical, and Rich is incredibly logical. I also have a couple other cops that I know and stuff like that I can always reach out to. And I'm just like, what is the right answer? And they're like, well, the right answer is, of course, make sure that there's no threat to anybody. The threat is the primary thing. And then after that, render aid. Like, immediately. As soon as there's no threat, aid must be rendered. So, what is that? 1 septillion to go? Don't worry, we'll get there, Wolfram. Glorified security guard. Mom hid the weapon. Wasn't it like, so this is the thing. I understand. So for me, from what I was reading about it, it was a ceremonial knife that Sikhs carry on them for religious purposes, which I'm all for that, right? I totally get that. That makes perfect sense, okay? It is a religious exemption. However, the second that religious exemption hurts and or kills somebody else, now me mentally, politically, I must look at the threat versus the reward in allowing something like that. So the whole situation is a fucking mess. I try and look at it as logically as I can, right? And there's a whole lot of emotions in this whole situation. But I try and remove the emotion and look at things logically. And would I still be as upset about this had the races been turned? Yes, I would still be upset. Had the situation been different and the Sikh guy been the one who got stabbed, was on the ground, was saying, I can't breathe, I've been stabbed, and they said, yes, I would also be mad. So would I removed all emotion, all bias, all everything else, would I still be pissed off at this situation? Yes. Okay, cool. Can I have a religious chainsaw? Overpressurized parrot bladder? What are we talking about? So the UK did ban knives over a certain length but these are considered religious items for the Sikhs. I don't know. I'm very unfamiliar with the Sikh faith. Sikhs are Hindu or Sikhs their own. See, again, I don't know. Religious is like it's a whole gray area to me. That's just what I read. The stabber previously threatened someone with sword in a road rage incident. There's a video of it. See, that's the thing. At that point in time, that individual should not be allowed to have that anymore. Sorry. This is the thing. It's anyone can own a weapon of any kind. I could have a nuclear bomb sitting in my next room. I have the mental stability that I'm not going to use that thing unless I absolutely have to protect me and my family. There's no reason to fucking use. I'm going to level the whole fucking city. It's a mentality on the individual. There's no such thing as a good weapon or a bad weapon. It doesn't exist, right? There's no, you can hand the most peaceful person in the world a machine gun and they're never going to hurt anybody with it, right? And I recognize that. As an American, I recognize that. So how do we accept cultural differences while still making sure that the wrong people don't get their hands on things? And that is ultimately the gun debate in the United States. And really what it is how do we, because I will always, this is going to be a hot take a little bit here, right? I will advocate for certain, some would call it gun control, but if it makes sense and it keeps the population safer. You already have to show your ID for a firearm. You have to fill out the ATF forms. You have to do a background check. Like, that's already there. That all makes sense to me. Cool. Registering is stupid. Well, if we register guns, then there won't be as much crime. Really? Did registering cars reduce DUIs? No? Okay. Like, I'm all for things that make sense, but if it doesn't make it, like here in the state of New Mexico, I have a concealed carry, so it doesn't matter to me, but you have a 7-day wait period for a firearm. Has literally never been proven to show a decrease in gun violence. Now, it has decreased suicide, so there's an argument to be made there, but it hasn't reduced violent crime. It doesn't change anything. He did not use the Kirpan. It was a different blade, much larger one. That was the problem. Okay, see? I didn't find that in any of the, like, because I read like 3 or 4 articles on it. He used a different knife he was carrying. It was a straight blade. The image is shown with blood on it. Okay, I'm willing to be wrong. I don't know everything about everything. I'm just trying to, you have a constitutional carry in Ohio. I think all states should have reciprocity carry. Just saying. 3 things. 1, happy birthday. Here for a soju for you. Oh, sorry I'm late. What did I miss so far? How fucked is Iran still? I don't know. This is the thing. I think that it's far more telling when we talk about Iran. It is far more telling that they closed the strait. Not as an act of defiance, right? Like that is probably the greatest psyop against America right now, is that they closed the strait as an act of defiance. Okay. Let's go down that path. What else can they do? Nothing. That's it. That is their biggest chess piece. And the fact that they use it, I think, shows more desperation than it does an act of defiance. It is circumstantially their nuclear option. If Ukraine started pushing Russia back and eventually started crossing Russian territory, what is Russia's nuclear option? Quite literally, nuclear weapons. That's it, which would show desperation. We're losing. We need to use our end-all be-all. That's really what it's all about. So I think that the situation in Iran when they closed the strait, they're so good. Their propaganda campaign, top tier. They convinced everybody that they did it in an act of defiance against the United States and Israel, and it was nothing more than an act of desperation. It's so good. I can't even be mad at them. It's so good. That is all they can do at the moment. Exactly. They can't do anything. Ukraine took parts of Russian Kursk while Russia didn't do anything true, but that was a small incursion. I mean, it was a couple hundred kilometers, or I think it was 1,000 kilometers. Like, don't get me wrong. Fucking balls out to Ukraine for getting that shit done. Like, that took some stones. I've been thoroughly impressed with the Ukrainian defense in general. But again, if they'd started pushing further and into Moscow, the nuclear option that Russia has is quite literally nuclear weapons. Good. The farther from Green Bay, the better. F the Bears, I'm still bitter. Bobby is a pommy cop. Pleb is a poorer person. Pleb. In the United States, pleb means plebeiant, which is a kind of a slur for somebody who's mentally handicapped. That's how we use pleb or plebe. Test. I see your test. You made it. Welcome. Denise Hampton. I'm trying to read everything, but yo, I'm back. Sorry I missed last stream. In the spirit of Arondo, they call him Ethan Long because he's got a long Cheney. What the fuck, man? Welcome back. No to gun control. The criminals never follow it. Very true. Very true. Again, I'm a very common sense person. I think red flag laws are incredibly stupid. I disagree with red flag laws. There's the thing. Anything you make in this world can be abused by somebody. Okay. So how do we do something to keep them out of the bad guys' hands? Well, first and foremost, I remember reading somewhere like 92% of all gun fatalities are in gun-free zones. Or sorry, not gun fatalities, mass shootings. Excuse me. So first we start by eliminating those. Why do you think these mass shooters go to schools, government buildings, things where people are not armed, and they don't go to banks? Because they know it's dangerous to them. Also, wild to me that we guard our banks with armed guards, but not our children. Still fucking strange. I'm very much a fight fire with fire type person. And an armed society is a polite society. Right? If you have a neighbor, good fences make good neighbors. That's like a world-renowned analogy. Everyone knows that, right? Good fences make good neighbors. Sometimes your best fence is suppressing fire. Target rich environment, no resistance. Bingo. They're trying to cause the most harm with the least amount of risk to themselves. It's stupid. It's wild. But the second we harden those targets, they'll stop being targets. And I hate that. I hate that somebody in their wrong mind, I can't even say right mind, would willingly want to go into a school where children are getting educated and start shooting. It's still just the most crazy, violent thing. Like there's no logical reason to do it. Like it's so illogical. It's like sexual assault or rhymes with grape. It's illogical to me. It's completely illogical. I don't understand why people do it. I can't put my head in that headspace. I can't. There's a lot of things, crimes that I can justify. Road rage, I get it. I fucking get it, right? Stealing food, I get it. It makes sense. I can find a reason to commit a lot of different crimes. Those things, I just can't. It's my brain. I don't know if there's a block. I don't know what it is. I cannot. And I've asked Rich some of these questions, and Rich is like, you can't provide logic to something that is that illogical. He's like, detectives go fucking crazy trying to make something sound logical. And sometimes they're just fucking gone. Also, bring back asylums. I'm sorry. Bring them back. Bring them back. If I were to send a laughing disco, how much would it help? A laughing disco? What is that? Alrighty, foggy line when people are talking to intelligence agencies. Have I tried Subnautica 2? Yes. There's one thing I don't like about it. I mean, it has pretty good exploration and stuff. The only thing that I don't like about Subnautica 2 is you don't have stacks of items. Never been a big fan of games that don't stack items. That bothers me. Sanitarium just... What are my opinions about how many America First and podcast bros are going to Russia and saying it's better than the West? I don't think it's as many as you might assume, Chris. I think it's just the loud minority. And if you're going to any country, so there was a certain country that sponsored a trip for content creators, and I was invited, and I said no, because I don't want to take a country's money, because that means I'm bought and paid for by said country. I refuse. A lot of those trips are bought and paid for by those individuals trying to get the West to chummy up to Russia. And this is the thing. Do I have an issue with the Russian people? No, I have no issue with the Russian people. I have an issue with the Russian government and the people that are making those decisions, those violent individuals who steal technology the second they can get their fucking hands on it. That's the problem I have. Just like I don't have a problem with the Chinese people. No issue with them. I have a problem with Xi Jinping. And the CCP, I absolutely do. Overtly loud micro minority. Yeah. Pretty sure it was West Taiwan. You have integrity. I've been accused of many things, but never integrity. So I appreciate that. I got a little far behind. Just need to use our minesweeper ships to clear the strait. Granted, U.S. doesn't really need it open as we have Venezuela oil that the world can buy. Yeah, again, it's their nuclear option, man. But I hate how accurate the president was, and I thought about making the joke, but I was like, eh. But when he was like, ceasefires are kind of, you just shoot at each other moderately less, and there's so many Americans that are like, that's not how a ceasefire works. And I'm like, you have never been in the Middle East. Human life is not valued there at all in any fucking country. Okay, maybe UAE, but only people who were citizens, not the slaves that they bring in to build their shit. So when he said that, I was like, he's right. Oh, Craft Voorhees is here. What is up, my dude? I don't have my horns. I got to set up the horns. Uvalde Texas shooting proves good guys with guns don't help. 45 minutes to wait for a vet to finish the job. Weak ass cops. Agreed. Okay. The inaction. Yeah. The inaction by the Uvalde Police Department I found abhorrent. The individual, had they met armed resistance, those children would still be here today. Now, I don't like grandstanding on the graves of kids, either pro or against anything, right? The idea, again, and that goes back to the psychology of it, of someone going into a school to harm children, elementary age children, and the police not having the stones. And it wasn't like, this is the thing, I can understand like staging until you get a few more officers there, and then it's like, let's hit that fucking door. I get that. But not a single one of them was like, fuck this, fuck you guys, we're going in. Like, I'm not sitting here anymore, we're going. That level of inaction I found to be pretty abhorrent. But, you know, it also makes sense that the Uvalde police force endorsed Tony Gonzalez, whose moral compass is so fucked up, I'm surprised he can even find his way home. You know, he usually stops at one or more staffers' houses who allegedly light themselves on fire after they're pregnant with his child because he ruined their marriage. Oh yeah, why did that guy step down again? Or why did he resign? Oh, that's wild. Anyways. Also, Baltimore Ravens are thinking about going to Delaware. Delaware's not a real place. It's not a real place, as the governor doesn't want to approve their work on the stadium. Delaware doesn't exist. I was in the Army for 16 years, 7 months. No one's from Delaware. I've met people from New Hampshire, Vermont, Florida, everywhere else in the United States. No one's like, I'm from Delaware. And if they are in the military and they're from Delaware, it's not a real place. It's made up. It's not a real place. Such a tragic situation. Absolutely. Did the police ever figure out what radicalized the guy who did Grand Blanc? I don't know. I'm unfamiliar with that situation off the top of my head. Delaware doesn't exist. Don't you gaslight me, Sean. This is one of those hills I'm dying on, okay? Delaware is not a real place. That's why everyone wants to have their businesses there, because it's not a real place. It's like when you buy a virtual fucking address at Staples for a P.O. box, okay? It's not a real place. Been to the range twice now. Got 5 guns on my list for my first 2011 Glock 17. Good choice. Beretta, okay. 92X, CZ-P09, Smith & Wesson M&P9, good choice there. Really don't like SIGs. You know, and that's to each their own. But I will tell you this. When it comes to firearms, it's whatever you individually are comfortable with. You're going to have people tell you, well, this is better than this, and this is better than this. And they're going to spout out these random statistics because they can read the brochure. The firearm you are trained and proficient with is better than no firearm. Period. Full stop. Delaware is the American Atlantis. It's not real. It's not real. It's not a real place. A little late, but happy birthday. Been listening to a lot of Sabaton lately and have decided at midnight tonight to play Primo Victoria for 3 hours. Fucking good choice. Was it Through the Gates of Hell? As we make our way to heaven through the Nazi lines. Primo Victoria. Yeah, I fuck with Sabaton, man. They're on tour. I should probably get tickets. Can you have the kid talk about stolen Lego scandal? There's a stolen Lego scandal? I didn't know there was a stolen Lego scandal. Let me put that in my notes. I'll see if there's anything there. Over in Utah, really? Utah that like notoriously does nothing wrong because they all believe that they're Mormons. Mormons are strange, but I don't like making fun of religions. Okay, I do, but only as Grandpa Buff, and it's only Islam. Um, I was unfamiliar with this. They stole over $200,000 worth of Legos. What'd they get? 4 Harry Potter sets? Oh, Star Wars. Oh, so they got what? 1 Millennium Falcon and the Death Star. That's it. Happy Men's Mental Health Month. Agreed. Happy birthday, HLC. June 27th, Arnold Air Force Base, and having an open house for the 75th anniversary in Tullahoma, Tennessee. AEDC is the wind tunnel for NASA and the military. Unfortunately, on June 27th, I already have something planned this year, but I will look into it. No guarantees of anything. Breaking news. A Russian woman has given birth to a child that scientists are considering a biological and engineering marvel. Scientists don't know, but the child is 50% human, 25% aviation fuel, and 25% aluminum alloy. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I'm assuming that's a Grandpa Buff joke. That's not like an actual thing, right? We don't know for a fact that that's the F-47 that we saw the canards on. I'm holding out hope. I'm hoping someone at the Department of War watches my videos and like, guys, we can't have canards on this. He's going to fucking roast us into the ground. We cannot have canards on this thing. Also, check out the Fight Light MCR dual feed upper. There's a dual feed upper? Damn. You're wrong. There was one cop in Uvalde that wanted to go. He was the husband of one of the teachers, bleeding out while on the phone with him. They disarmed and detained him, refusing him entry to save his wife. Dude, is that legit? I haven't heard that or read that. I'm willing to be wrong because honestly, man, those things I try to tread lightly on, and I don't do a great deal of research because it just irritates the piss out of me. Joke canards, some raccoon glued on. Politicians are evil. Anyone who thinks I can solve the world's problems is a narcissist. Oh, I love it. The world is healing. We're learning. We're absolutely learning. I do genuinely feel like there are some people up there that are trying to do the right thing, following their moral compass. But unfortunately, they're so overshadowed by super PAC money and the loud minority and just people holding up signs like it's a fucking Garth Brooks concert at the State of the Union. Like, it's just wild, man. That's legit. Oh, that fucking irritates the piss out of me. I promise you, I'm throwing my whole career away. My wife is in there bleeding out. Fuck everybody. I'm throwing everything away. Don't care. You take away my gun, that's fine. I'm coming in through a window. Also, have you seen the Battlefield 6 newest map? It's fantastic. They're going to add proximity chat so you know things are about to be... The world is healing. More racism inbound. The racism is going to be just top tier. Beer Fund on Venmo. Was that you? I just got it. I just got the email. Thank you so much. Story time. Some guy in Pleasant Hill, Missouri killed 2 people at Price Chopper, and 2 people with guns were approaching the shooter, and the shooter immediately tried to game end himself and failed. I mean, it sucks that he failed, but if I was approaching him with a gun and he tried to end himself, I would just be like, look, I'm going to just, this is assisted. We're just here for you. And I would just take care of it. And you know what? When I was in the courtroom and they're like, well, why did you execute blah, blah, blah? I'd be like, look, I was just saving the taxpayers' money. I'm sorry that this guy doesn't get to mount a defense anymore. I'm sure your prosecution is probably happy for that. Yeah, I got to look into the stolen Lego scandal. I don't know how I haven't seen it. Had to pull over to type this, but Franklin stole the Legos. I love it. Franklin Prime approves of states with no sales tax. This is the thing. There's so many taxes out there. Dude, it's wild. Do you know why there's not giant billion-dollar corporations in the cannabis industry yet? It's because you can't get an EIN. You're all taxed as a sole proprietor. And every good business mind knows that that's a terrible idea. Good God, Wither.
Intercept me. I'd intercept me.
Hello HLC. I had a question. Who is your favorite president? Mine is Teddy Roosevelt.
Well, that's a good one. If we're talking about a good president who was just an all-around good dude, I'm going to have to agree with you on Teddy Roosevelt. However, when you say favorite, my brain also goes, I like someone who shook up the status quo so fucking much. Yeah, got it, Trail of Tears, all that terrible shit he did too. I'm tracking. But who's on the $20 bill? Fucking, I want to say Adams. Andrew Jackson, there you go. God, that guy was just so pragmatic. Every time I learned something else about Andrew Jackson, I'm just like, how the fuck was this guy the president? It's so wild. I like professions to get a 9999999 from the IRS. Ooh. Yeah, Andrew Jackson was just a wild card. A wild card. Happy birthday, brother. Keep doing what you do. Thank you so much. Run him over. I'm getting more and more tired of my country of WA. Super pandering to people who do stuff to kids. Many youth pastors or teachers got exposed but are getting off with not much punishment. Dude, honestly, that is the one thing I hate. I hate about the American military. For example, in case you guys were unfamiliar with this, about 5, 6, maybe even longer years ago, there was a lieutenant colonel who told this young female specialist at the time who was getting promoted to sergeant that I'm going to motorboat you when you get promoted. And she said, please don't. Please don't do that. And he said, I'm going to do it anyways. And when she got promoted, he pinned on her rank and motorboated her, which is definitionally sexual assault, right? By definition, that's what it is. This individual, you would think that, hey, walls close in, bro, your career's over. You're done. His career was over. He was allowed to retire with full benefits. Anywhere else in the war, well, in the U.S. anyways, anywhere else you did that in the U.S., you would have been tried, convicted, and be on a registry. And this individual gets all of their benefits, this lieutenant colonel, and he's not on a registry. That's the one thing I loathe about the military is you can be tried and convicted. He even spent like 30 days behind bars, right, for SA and is not on the sex offender registry. That is fucking nuts. I hate that. I don't care what rank they are. I don't care who they are. It doesn't matter. You don't fucking do that. Like, that is not okay. UCMJ doesn't cover motorboating. Technically it does. Article 34, which is the general article. Anytime they can't slap you with anything else, they throw on, or 134, excuse me. They throw on a 134. When I got my second Article 15, they hit me with a 134. Misconduct of a non-commissioned officer. I ran naked across a training area. Who hasn't done that? I deserve that shit, though. I totally deserve that shit. Delaware exists. It just has entitled white folk with their own businesses, so they don't join the army. They're more chair force. It's not a real place. Oswolf, it's not a real place. First of all, happy birthday. About 8 years ago, Las Cruces Council tried to ban semi-automatics with city limits for student safety. In an end-of-day vote, they didn't expect residents on this to spot on the schedule. Oh, I didn't even know about that. I know that the governor is trying to ban, and this tastes like vomit when I say it, high-capacity magazines. That bothers me. And to anyone who's like, well, they didn't have these high capacity magazines back, blah, 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 blah. The original Gatling gun, the hand crank one, dook, 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 that one had like a 50 round magazine on top of it. Don't fucking give me that shit. Rank privilege, dude, I hate that. I hate that. Oh, God, that pissed me off so bad when I saw that. I was like, we failed. Because there was an E5 on Fort Sill, and this was when I was stationed at Fort Sill. This was the first time I was stationed. I think this was 2012. This E5 went to prison and was on a registry. But he also, I would argue what he did was worse. He had a stepdaughter who was like 12 or 13, and she ended up pregnant with his child. Hang that motherfucker. Hang him. Okay? You don't do shit like that. Like that, dude, it doesn't, oh my God, there is an internet of just gross things you can see out there. Why? Just another one of those things that my brain can't rationalize. I can't understand. Puppy dog. Oh yeah, Knox is chilling back there. Bro, he had the worst farts yesterday. They were so bad. He let one loose in my truck, and I'm like driving down the road with all the windows down. It was so bad. And then after I dropped him off at his groomer, I get back in the truck. It was like 15, 20 minutes later because we were shooting the shit, and it still smelled like his asshole. And I warned his groomer, Emily. She's a nice girl. I was like, hey, Emily, he's got really bad gas today. And she's like, I have a Great Dane. I can handle gas. She texted me halfway through his groom. Oh, dear God. How is something that rancid come out of him? I was like, yeah, it's bad. It's so bad. Just vomited. Oh, from the, yeah, dude, I can't stand that. No, HLC, my state of Washington, my specific country. Did your dyslexic? Oh, did you? I swear to God, you said country. I read it twice. I was like, you said country. Did your dyslexic guys forget I work on the 730? Yes, I'm. You C5 galaxy-sized air defender. You know, I deserve this. This is a me problem. This is entirely my fault. I actually got to see the Union Pacific Big Boy in both Argos and Menton, Indiana. It was great. What is the Union Pacific Big Boy? All right, I'm not going to be Googling a bunch of stuff here, but I'm kind of curious about what the Union Pacific Big Boy is. Oh, damn. That's a fucking honker of a train, bro. I feel like trains had so much more style back in the day. I feel like they don't nowadays. I feel like modern trains just have no style. You know what we need? We need a room full of autistic people designing shit. Like, just grab a whole bunch of them. Like, look, hey, I get it. You're nonverbal. Draw me up what you think a train should look like. And just let them go ham. I bet we will have some of the most efficient and badass looking trains on the planet. Then have another group of them just, hey, make me a stealth fighter jet. Just a room full of, I love Eli's son, by the way, but I'm going to make this joke, just a room full of ride-ins. Daddy, I drew a picture of a plane, and they're like, they put it into a simulation, like, that is the most stealth aircraft that has ever existed. What in the fuck? This is so wild. Like, just give them a basic understanding of radar, or find one that really likes radar and be like, oh, if you make it out of this with this, you can make it for very cheap, and it will not reflect any radiation beams. Like, it will be so good. You know what we need? Standards. Facts. Oh, damn it. It did that thing where it jumps down again. Bakersfield, California hostage situation from this week. Ugh. What happened? I didn't know the details. I haven't heard about that. I had a busy week. It's been a busy week. Actually, Brandon has an event going on near me tomorrow, so I'm going to go say hi to him and go out to dinner afterwards. It's going to be a great time. Great, now I misspelled. I meant county. Okay, see you, Rondo. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't. I read it correctly. This is a you problem. All right, I take my leave. Basically, he just created a new slur for you. I don't even know what it means. Okay. Sorry. Happy late birthday. Today's your birthday? Well, happy birthday. Finally leaving California and going to Montana. Pause. Time out. Have you been to Montana in the wintertime? I'm not talking shit. Like, don't get me wrong. Montana during summer, beautiful. Gorgeous fucking state. Wide open land, fucking loose gun control, clean water, clean air. Beautiful fucking state. The winter, holy shit. It is an icy tundra with 80-mile-an-hour winds blowing snow at you. Which direction? Yes. Hold on. The last time I went to Montana let me know very, very efficiently, do not come back, okay? I was driving with my dad. We were in his Landau 660B being pulled by a Freightliner. We go to pick up two bobtail yard haulers and haul them back to Denver. A blizzard hit us in Billings, Montana and chased us to Denver, Colorado. Every time we stopped, because we had to for log hours, it would catch back up to us. Arizona's Satan's asshole in the summer. That's fair. That's why I like Las Cruces. It gets hot here. Like, don't get me wrong. We've hit about just around 100 degrees, a couple days ago. But Phoenix, they're already at like 110. Dude, I don't even know why people want to live there. Like this, we're in a nice spot here where the air is still cool enough. It's not bad. I didn't think the states should have the right to regulate the Bill of Rights. I agree. I feel the regulation of the Bill of Rights should be left to the Congress and the state Senate and the president. I couldn't agree more. My question on that is they honestly, politicians, they mask their charades and their bullshittery under layers and layers of other shit. They're very, very good about that. So I'm trying to figure out, are you saying that the Second Amendment interpretation of limiting high capacity magazines. Now, this is the thing. From what I understand, even with a high capacity magazine ban, you can get a federal firearms license and be allowed to have those in said state, which is the way that they circumvent that. Which is like, hey, you can still have it. You just got to pay the federal government for your federal firearms license. I agree with you on the shall not be infringed. I completely fucking agree with you. You're preacher, choir. I get it. I totally understand. I'm right there with you guys. I think if I wanted a bazooka, I should be able to go get one. I totally agree. And apparently I'm a bit of an anomaly. If I'm not carrying, I will get loud and I will get in someone's face. Like if they piss me off bad enough, I'll do it. Right? I don't mind getting physical. I've had my ass whooped before. It only hurts the second day. In the moment, it's not painful. Also, I think all 50 states should have mutual combat laws, but that's neither here nor there.
I'd intercept me.
Not going to lie. I'm going to crash him heading to bed. Have a good night.
Wither, thank you so much for being here. Have yourself a good night. I might hit you up this weekend, maybe on Sunday. I don't know. I might have time to play some Space Marine 2 or something like that. I've just been into roadcraft, man. It's been my world. What type of old school driver didn't run at least 2 logbooks? One who hadn't used a logbook in forever, so was trying to follow the rules so he didn't get pulled over by state patrol. Fuck yeah, mutual combat. I think all 50 states should have mutual combat laws. Like, if you have that much of a problem with me, tell me you want to fight. Okay, let's fight. It'll be regulated. Don't slam my head into the concrete. If I'm out, I'm out. If you're out, you're out. Like, that's it. Like, mutual combat should be a thing. But when I'm carrying, dude, I will de-escalate every fucking situation known to man. Someone cuts me off in my truck and I feel like the pressure of my firearm against my side. I'm like, man, that was not cool, sir. Like, I'm just like the most chill person in the world when I have a gun on me. I'm just like, you shouldn't have done that. But I understand you might be in a rush and I may not understand the gravity of the situation. Like, I'm so nice when I'm carrying a gun. When I'm not, oh no, I'm a fucking asshole. Living in Arizona, I'm surrounded by idiots. Your governor, California, and mass people with magic underwear. Yeah, I see you, Utah. I'm at the point here in New Mexico that when elections come around, well, they just did a primary. But when the elections happen, I need to look into my candidates again. I don't care if it is Lucifer Morningstar running for office. If they say they're going to get rid of the homeless population, because this is the thing. And I'm not saying get rid of the homeless population as in like, hey, we need to start. No. But the programs that are in place to give them like a hand up are just giving them a handout. And our homeless population has exploded here in Las Cruces. I don't give them any fucking money. I ignore them. Bro, there was a guy had a sign said like need food, anything helps. And he was doing the fentanyl nod, like on the side of the road the other day. I'm like, what are you even doing, dude? because we're a sanctuary city. I don't care who's running. If they say they're going to get, solve our homeless population and get them the fuck out of here, bet you got my vote, dude. I don't give a shit who's running. Don't care. Did I miss your second super chat? I'm sorry. Holnook, I think that's how I say that. Did I am a little behind. No. Oh. I'm trying to, oh, damn, I am way behind. Not to change the subject from farts, did you see the YouTuber caught a video of the F-47? We don't know if it's the F-47. It is a test platform, but the government hasn't said. In Nevada test range, I was in Nevada. I saw it, and I saw the canards, and I still stand by it. Canards are gay. I still stand by it. Cute doggy, that's my boy Knox. That's my best buddy in the whole wide world. He's going to be 12 next month. You know what's really funny? My other dog, Fritz, the black one, the naked one, but his skin is black. His birthday is Juneteenth. I'm not making that up. If I'm lying, I'm dying. I'm not making that up. And it's funny as hell. Also, Beretta 92X fires great. What's the beef? Beretta in general, I just have an aversion to. Again, personal choice, right? I have an aversion to Beretta just because of the M9. Personal beef. You think I'm black, so that's nothing new. Okay. Do I got to tell that story again? So we were playing Star Citizen. I play Star Citizen. I only do like industrial shit, right? I enjoy that. It makes me happy. I was playing with Wolfram. I was on, I think 10 or 15 milligrams, right? I was enjoying myself. I usually let him pilot because we know that I can't pilot when I'm on gummies. And he was wearing all black. His character had like a black helmet, black suit, black armor, black, this and that. And we were on the elevator of the ship together. And as the elevator went up, his character was like tweaking out, like shaking all over the place. And what I was going to say was, oh my God, your character's like wigging out on my screen. But what I said was, oh my God, you're black. Not my proudest moment, okay? But sometimes the things between here and here don't work that well when you're on cannabis, all right? Leave me alone. I was enjoying my night. I was it was now you want chicken wings, bro. I'm all about them chicken wing life. This is a hot take, but historically Russia has a top tier defense, but they have god awful attack strategy. It's the meat wall tactics. It's the meat wall tactics, man. I don't get behind that. And I didn't realize how important the principles of like mission command are and understanding like how tactics work on the battlefield until I saw Russia start bumbling it. I'm like, oh, these are bad. This is bad. I used to show those videos to my students. Like, do you see what's wrong with this assault here? No base of fire. They dropped the guys. They didn't even pop smoke until they were on the X. And then the heavy piece of equipment that was providing suppressive fire bailed out and left 4 of them on the ground to be gunned down by machine guns. Like, just the tactics are terrible. Don't seem like it to me. Wigging out. I was going to turn to something completely different. No. Yeah. Sean Strickland banned from White House UFC event due to comments about Israel and Epstein. Seriously? Is that why they did they say that, or did he say that? Because Sean Strickland, he kind of says the quiet parts out loud, but did he say that or did they say that? Because if he said that, I don't know how true that is. But if they said that, I have a genuine problem, right? Because, okay, when it comes to Israel, right? Do I think they're infallible? Do I think they're perfect? No, absolutely not. Do I think that they are justified in going after these terrorist organizations that are continuously attacking them? Absolutely. But I can also agree that they're very heavy-handed when they shouldn't have to be, right? Two things can be true at the same time. But for some reason, lately, if you disagree with the way a country is doing things, they label you into a phobe of some kind, right? Or anti something. So if I have a reasonable disagreement with the way Israel does something, I immediately be labeled an anti-Semitic. Well, that's just also not factually accurate because Arabs are also Semites. They all, back to the Canaanites. I did a whole video about it. But like when I disagree with Iran, people automatically assume I'm an Islamophobe. No, I have really no personal beef with Islam or personal pork with Islam. Anyways, but I can disagree with anything a country does. Now, if that's the reason that they banned him, I have a genuine disagreement with that. I have an absolute genuine disagreement with that. And personally, if they told me that I could only go as long as I don't say anything about those things, I'd be like, cool, I'm not going. See you guys. I have no interest in doing that. I do not want my freedom of speech restricted based off of a foreign entity's opinions and control in my government. That's a problem I have. So now you can be like, hey, like not allowing Hassan Piker there. That checks out. Because he straight up told people to like kill conservatives and kill fucking Americans and these people deserve to die. And yeah, that checks out. That checks out. You know, that's an unsafe practice. But just having a reasonable disagreement with the policies of a country, that no bueno. No bueno. Not vibing with me. Happy birthday. See you tomorrow at Brandon's event. Can I give you a ride in my C7 as a... You have a C7? I mean, yeah. Bro, I don't know any grown straight man who's like, hey, do you want to go in for a ride in my Corvette? No. Just don't crash us, please. My wife would be very upset. She would like use a Ouija board to yell at me. And from the other side, I don't even know how to like block those incoming messages. I haven't figured that out yet. And she, you know, sometimes women do this thing. They do this amazing thing where they will argue a point until the man is just tired of arguing. And then they think that their point stands. I got like 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes of argument in me. That's it. Unless I'm really upset about something. That's all you're getting out of me. And then I'm going to be tired or I'm going to have to go do something else. You're killing me, Wolfram. What did Wolfram do? Some people don't touch pork for religious reasons. I don't touch religion for bacon reasons. Wolfram, I may use that as Grandpa Buff. That's actually a really, really good joke. I like that. Nagging your ghost, talk about an afterlife. Yeah. Dude, I saw a shirt. It was like this company, they're like making unwearable shirts and it said, I'm telling my dad, or that's it. I'm telling my dad. And in the middle was a Ouija board. Top tier. Top tier. I love it. Did you know that eating pork reduces your probability of screaming Aloha snack bar and blowing yourself up? I'm not saying blowing yourself up because there's been a lot of other people from other faiths that have blown themselves up, but those specific two things together, it reduces that by about 100%. But I will also tell you, having worked with people from the Middle East who are not extremists, that are not that way, like just regular everyday people, their faith ends where Baconators start. Dude, I met a guy from the UAE. He would have a Baconator every day for lunch. And I was like, bro, you know that there's bacon in that. He's like, I know, it's so good. All right, man. Welcome to America. Thank you so much for being here. I love it. I carry pocket bacon for these reasons. That should be a Buff shirt. It's only 6 p.m. Oh, we are at Protocol 4. I'm going to try and grab the bag real quiet because he's sleeping. Look at him. He's so cute. He's not bothering anyone. I got to try and do it quietly. I'm going to just talk over top of it so he doesn't hear anything until I open it. There he goes. There's a good boy. Here, these are small. You can have one more. And one more because the people love you. That's my best bud. That's my best buddy in the whole wide world. What type of old school driver didn't run at least too long? Oh, I got to that one. Oh, I'm way behind. Fat Electron Man on unsub. I'm a pepperback. Said you ran an EBR M14 as a tanker and was skinny and looked cool as fuck. Got any pics? If you go, I wasn't skinny as fuck, but that was Afghanistan. We were doing a lot of stuff. If you actually look at the header, the banner on, well, I guess it's probably not very easy to see there. I don't even know how I don't have a thing so you guys can see my screen. You know what? Here, pull it up on my phone. Hold on. Photos. Hold on, I gotta find it. I was in Afghanistan 15 years ago. I wasn't skinny, but I was definitely thinner. Now I gotta try and scroll back and find it. Oh, what was that one? There we go. There you go. That was, if you see in the background down other side down here, that is a root cellar from the time of Alexander the Great. What I'm standing on is actual observation post from the time of Alexander the Great. That was out in, we were up above Zorshar. The Lego saga is wild. Corporate greed, police corruption, swatting, alleged conspiracy between the Mormon church and the police, swatting escape to... Oh, dude, I gotta check this out. You can buy 50 Beowulf mags, which are 10 round, but also the same thing as a 30 round mag for 5.56. I was told that they also run 10 rounds of 300 Blackout. Just in case anyone was wondering. Hold on. Oh man, I'm way behind. You're joking about folks drawing planes and such. There's a number of registered mutants. I mean, that literally at least one could draw anything you want from memory to combine things. Only took 1 second to memorize what he saw. I've seen that. There was a dude that like went on a flight around Manhattan and drew it all from memory. Dude, that's wild. Fair, when I had paper logs, I was in a lane with no chicken houses, was pretty much not patrolled, so I was never touched. Well, my dad was originally just a day cab driver, so you didn't really need to run logbooks. If you visit Australia, you're going to be loud and annoying and explains some American tourists. I'm going to be loud and annoying? No, I every time I visit another country, I try and observe as much of their culture as I possibly can. Like, hey, how do you guys do this? What's that? And I'll ask them. Like, if I'm at a restaurant and like something comes out that looks really good, I'll straight up walk over to someone's table and be like, hey, what is that? Like, I'm not from here, but that looks really good. And they'll be like, oh, it's this. Cool, I'm going to order that. Thank you. I'm just always very... 2010 was 16. Well, it was 10, 11. Don't you put that evil on me, okay? I didn't get there until June? No, July. Yeah. We got there in July, left in June the next year. On the topic of trains, 4041 is the most kick-ass. On another topic, you think the USA is the instigator of the whole whack fuck meme? Kinda. Just over here playing a game of whack fuck. Whack fuck. I love it. I have something crazy you'll freak out over. There's a mod on your Discord. I could contact, give you details, and then would it go to you? Yes. Just contact one of the mods. Literally just tag mods, or there's like mod requests, and they'll get it to me. Got the police called on me for working outside at the place I've worked at for years by Karens, despite me explaining and offering 3+ ways to identify, authenticate me. Fun times. Dude, I can't stand that shit. Just leave people alone, man. When I play a space game, I notoriously seek smoke. I'll target industrial ships, cargo, mining, start fights with other combat. You'd be targeted. Well, that's the thing, Arando. If you target me in the areas that I'm at, you're going to get a crime stat. And then eventually there's going to be a bigger fish that comes and hunt your ass down. But when you die, you're not waking up in a hospital and getting to get your ship back. You wake up in prison in Star Citizen. And you have to mine to get time off so you can get out. What about the Israel-U.S. military merger? I haven't heard anything about that. I'm not sure what that is in regards to. We've been training Israelis in the U.S. for a long time. Matter of fact, when I was at Fort Sill at the Patriot Schoolhouse, because Israel and several other Middle Eastern countries, I don't know if it was Saudi Arabia or UAE, they had to release the students at a different time because they would always get into fistfights in the parking lot, which is hilarious. Like, yo, rep your set, man. But I can't imagine going to school in another country and let's say that there was like Russian soldiers there and I'd pick a fight with them in the middle of the street. It's so weird to me. Oh, so you're in Stanton or Nix. Every once in a while, I will run cargo over to Pyro, but I'm straight in, straight out. I don't. Okay, I'm out. Take it easy, Dave Sosa. Next time Iran or whoever talks about freedom fighters, just remember what George Carlin asked. If firefighters fight fires and crime fighters fight crime, what are free... I haven't heard that George Carlin joke. I love Carlin. I've never heard that. Carlin was one of the rare ones, right? Because like I don't think in our lifetime that I've found another comedian who blends so much like almost how do I word it? Like it's comedy, yes, it's hilarious, right? George Carlin is hilarious. Well, was hilarious. But he also blends it in a way that like really sends a message to people. And I don't know, without it being preachy. Dude, it's so good. George Carlin is the GOAT. Was the GOAT. Sir, a second snack is at the doggo. Oh, and now he's got his butt pointed at you. If you see that tail go up, guys, you're going to see the camera fog, and then I'm going to start gasping for air. That's what it's going to be. He's a stand-up philosopher. There you go. That's the best way to say that. Bill Hicks? I haven't heard of Bill Hicks. I'm willing to listen. Speaking of planes, have you made sure you know how to get to the short takeoff and landing field at Oshkosh? When you do, make sure you look for National Stall. They typically do demo competitions all week. No, I haven't like looked at like how everything's set up. I've never been there before. I do have an invite from the F-22 demo team, and I have an invite from the guy in charge of pyro for the B-1 demonstration wants to show me how to make the explosives. So those are two things that I will absolutely be doing, but I haven't figured out what that is. You taught me about hygiene? What? Who? What? 224 could allow Israel to buy the F-22. No. Fritz, what are you doing? Oh, does Fritz need one? Well, Knox needs another one. Can you tell? Not you. You'll get one in a second. Stop it. Tell me. I can't what? Hear him? Oh, okay, because you're watching me right now? All right, Knox. Go on. Go lay down. Fritzy. Knox, go lay down. Fritzy, can you tell me? Tell me? No. Tell me. Knox, not you. You bark all the time. Fritzy, tell me. He's so quiet. Okay, it's not going to happen. Tiananmen Square. Bite him. Attack. Why are you trying to have Knox and Fritz attack me? Knox would never attack me. Knox, come here. Come on. Oh, now you don't want to play? For the first time in your life? Jackass. Used to be super hated in servers because of it. Don't care. Your fault for moving cargo and mining while I'm there. My materials now, motherfucker. Well, that's the thing. That's part of when I go into Pyro, I usually carry contracted cargo, which you can blow me up, but the contracted cargo can't be sold anywhere. It's useless to you. The birthday boy is approved by the Ministry of Truth, the agency of the Super Earth Ministry. Mine's on Tuesdays. Democracy willing. Congratulations. Happy birthday. Wow. Yeah. Congratulations. You made it to another birthday. You know, at this point in the world, that's probably where we're at, is just congratulating people when they get to their birthday. Like, look, the world is shit. You're making it. Mrs. Linecrosser, if you're watching this, could you bring me a bottle of water? I'm feeling rather parched. Heavy armed alien civilization lands with breasted alien women and cute alien dog. Would America fold to the gift, or would American military act like a hood gangster? Okay. It depends. Okay. If politicians are the first one to meet them, we're going to show strength and solidarity. Unless it's Bill Clinton, okay? If Marines are the first one to meet them, guys, I'm sorry, we're losing the Marine Corps. They're the small alien dogs, they're probably going to end up eating. But as for the big boobied alien chicks, Marines, I'm sorry, that's your kryptonite. You're so good at warfare, but that's your kryptonite. Do I play GTA? Cargo missions that are pretty fun. No, I don't really play GTA. I am looking forward to the 6th one. Let me get the Chico. Topo Chico. Or I'll take both of them. Are you Stony? Oh my god. What? I did. Uh-huh. Okay. She is high as giraffe butthole right now. Anybody got a cigar? I do have some in the other room. I'm probably going to have one tonight. I didn't have one last night, but I'm probably going to have one tonight just because why not? I got a set of golf clubs. Oh, I got a set of golf clubs. I live on a golf course, so I should probably like learn to golf. I have like buckets of golf balls because I'll sit out in my backyard and I just see a ball drop in and I'm like, well, if they come over to the fence looking for it, I'll be like, here's your ball. You can get a drop for it. But I mean, you still lost the stroke, dude. GTA 5 is dog shit. I was reading that. I know. Wolfram, they're not supposed to like spam a whole bunch of emojis and stuff, but it's funny. I might get Star Citizen now just to relive my glory days and hunt industrial ships like you. That's fine, Arondo. I want you to know, I wish you the best in your future endeavors, but I also have a Star Citizen org, and I am not afraid to pay somebody to hunt your bitch ass down or to go buy something that'll just eat you alive. Actually, Wolfram, you got a Polaris, don't you? I bet a Polaris would do the trick. Forget golfing, go for the fastest lap around the course. Bro, this is a huge course. But honestly, I'm not good at golf. Like I got a beginner set. Like that's literally what it is. It's a starter set. And because I don't care about golf, my brother-in-law does, and he likes golf and he plays it pretty often. I just like hitting balls with sticks and driving a golf cart while shit-faced. And if it's walking distance from my house, that's a win-win. Perseus, yeah. You're the coolest dude ever. I'm far from it, man, but I try it. Don't get good at golf. No, I don't plan on. HEB in Texas sells dry aged smoked diced bacon. Oh, that sounds delicious. I just if you guys are in a state that has a Rudy's, I get it. It's a commercial level of barbecue, but they make a really good brisket. You just buy it by like the pound or the half pound. They got brisket, and then they have sliced turkey that's like a turkey brisket. Oh. Had some of that earlier tonight. It was good. It was very good. Suddenly I want to form an alliance instead. Hey man, I'm all about that. I am just a peaceful. There's two types of people who play Star Citizen, right? If you've ever played Star Citizen, there's two. There's solely two. There's no in between, right? People are like, oh, there's a bunch of different people who play Star Citizen. No, there's two types. One, which is most of us. We are Star Citizens. We do mining. We do bunker missions. We do hauling. We do scrapping. We are upstanding citizens of the universe. And then you have Star Felons. And Star Felons are literally there just watch the universe burn. They're just assholes. They put up quantum fucking nets to get you out of quantum so they can just destroy your shit. They're evil people. They're mean. And luckily, there's always someone who wants the smoke. Like, I can be like, hey, someone just blew me up over here. If anyone wants to go take care of that guy, I'll be back over there to grab my shit. And if he's dead and I see the remnants of his ship and his body, then I'll pay you. They're always willing. They're citizens and they're pirates. Yeah. Have I ever played Stellaris? No, I've seen it. And it's like, it's an RTS kind of style from what I saw. It's like a top down. Most of the time I play him out there cleaning shit up. Yeah, that's really what Wolfram and I have done lately. I went and bought a moth on the black market because he showed me how much you can make with a moth. And we just jump around to different starports and different like places on planets where bad pilots, especially during free fly, bro, there's so much scrap. Just someone crashes into, like they were trying to land and they have no idea how to land and they just crash into a planet. It's like, well, I'll go ahead and fracture this. Let me scrape off the body. Let me go ahead and form that into boxes and I'm off. And I'll just go on my merry way. Don't cross the streams. Get it? It's like a stream. I'm a mix of Star Felon and Citizen, mostly Felon. Dude, Don't get me wrong. There's a place for everyone in the Star Citizen universe. There's so much going on in that game. Just make sure you have enough RAM, at least 32 gigs. People are like, you can run it with 16. Yeah, I don't like 4 frames per second. Swear to God, if the F-22 team doesn't hide a speaker inside the F-22 and hide you behind something with a microphone and have you roast people. If they let me in the do they let people in the F-20? I don't think they let people in the F-22. Like, it's more of just like this is an F-22. Don't cross the rope. But I mean, if I have an in with the demo, dude, if they let me in the F-22, oh my God, I will be touching myself later. No, never. I have a clearance. It's still valid for a few more years. Wolfram just no. You know, it's Wolfram. I feel like sometimes you're like my spirit guide. And I'm notorious for making poor decisions, and you're always trying to save me from myself, which is hilarious. Oh, man. Don't touch the kid. You would leave DNA all over the... it would be a love explosion, as some might say.
Hey, Chelsea, get out of the kid and stop touching your purple-headed yogurt slinger.
The joke came to me and I just had to use it. It was there. More like your parent. He really is. I want my Star Wars Galaxy Wookiee combat medic with bounty hunter extras back. Could kite, Jedi, solo, and poison heal whole battlefields. There's a lot of words that did not make a lot of sense to me in that. Hold on. I'm trying to understand exactly what's going on, but I would love an open world like Star Wars game like that where you can be a different faction and trade with people and create I think that would be so much fucking fun. The closest I've ever seen, I will tell you the best way that I've ever seen Wookiees portrayed in a video game, because if you read the books, and I've read like 1 or 2 of them, Wookiees are fucking huge. Like Chewbacca is small, okay? Wookiees are like 11 feet tall and like brutally violent. The best way I've ever seen them portrayed in a video game is Star Wars Republic Commando. If you've ever played that game on the old 360, by the way, top tier video game. I have it in my Steam. I just haven't beaten it in a while. But when you're on Kashyyyk and you're going through there, like trying to save Wookiees from droids and shit like that, and there's that one in there, like fighting 7 droids by himself and ripping them to pieces. Oh, God. S tier. So good. Oh, weapons ain't around? Galaxies was the best MMO. First Jedi took years. I don't know if I ever played Galaxies.
So they're tall and violent. Yeah, we got those on Earth. We just teach them to play basketball instead.
Okay. Oh, man. Oh, my God. Mass Effect Andromeda was cool until the Incogno coders got a hold of it. The jokes write themselves.
You know that flying guy with the big nose that had that really specific accent on Tatooine that used to own Anakin and his mother? Yeah, we got those too. And the Sand People. That's ironic. They're in the same area here too.
Look, there's a lot of racy jokes that could be made from the Star Wars universe, okay? So, is Jabba the Hutt related to Russia's mom? Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic was the GOAT. I think I played a little bit of that one. I didn't really, I mean, I was probably kind of young and I didn't understand a lot of it. I love the original Battlefront games, Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2. And when they made Battlefront 2 like modern, they didn't have Galactic Conquest. What the fuck? That's literally all everybody ever enjoyed playing. I understand why Anakin hates sand. Luke kissing his sister with a southern accent.
Sweet home. Do they have trailer parks on Tatooine? I'm just saying, Luke got the short end of the fucking stick there. Like, we're going to split these people up with their family. This woman, she's going to go be a princess, and you, slightly above a slave.
Like, that's just really fucked up. You did not care for Galactic Conquest? Bro, Galactic Conquest, it was the shit.
Remember, the kid's safe word is caramel popcorn.
Republic credits don't work here. Only tax dollars. No, Republic credits don't work here. Only money. I can't even get it out. I just, because that's how I'm gonna get canceled. That's it. That's it right there. The Jabberwocky are Mexicans. I'm trying to prove you wrong, but for the life of me, I fucking can't. I can't right now, okay? Very, very good with their hands. They fix things, they repair things. They got like 300 of them in one vehicle. Just stop it, okay? Look, I don't think that it should be considered racist to understand patterns. White people have patterns too. Why do you think Buff came up with the joke for Kaleback? By the way, that wasn't a planned line. He just like he pantomimed. He made that up right on the spot. Because I had the thin lip mayo monkeys and the sun dodging lice babies. Like that was in the chamber. Kaleback, that was all Buff. That wasn't me at all. Okay. Galaxies had Galactic Conquest. Imps and rebels could take over any planet and build bases. Really? Hey, from Arizona, does that put me under the sand people stereotype? No, different type of sand people. Happy 40. I'm 36, man. OTD. Yes. Many are hairy as fuck. I am Mexican. Hey, I live right down here near the Mexican border. And I tell you, what's crazy is when you live near the Mexican border, right? You work a lot with Hispanic people and people from Mexico. I mean, it happens. They come over here, work visas, they do their job, they head on back at the end of the day. Like it happens very often. You know what I noticed? None of them are part of Las Cruces homeless population. All of them are like working their absolute ass off. Now, there's a few different demographics I've noticed in the homeless population. Drug addicts, things like that. There's two specific that stick out to me. One of them is mine. I'll let you guys infer what the other one might be. But yeah, I haven't really seen that too much. Been a viewer for a while. Thanks for the good content and laughs. Things aren't good at home at the moment. I'm trying to support my dad who just lost his pilot medical. Thank you for the breaks from reality. Matt the Houston, I think I'm reading that correctly. Hey man, I'm sorry to hear about that with your dad, okay? But what I will tell you is you'll get through it, right? And it's not a matter of if, it's how. Like that's the way I look at everything in my life, right? Let's say this social media thing I got canceled tomorrow, right? Let's say that happened, everything fell off. I wasn't, like don't get me wrong, I make a good living from this, and I just wasn't. I'd have to figure something else out. It wouldn't be if, it would be how, right? Like life throws a lot of crazy stuff at us. And that's really, and I appreciate that because that's really why I make my videos is the world is a terrible place. It is an awful place. And it's so hard on us. If I can help people escape from that for a few minutes, that's what I want to do. Right. I like making people laugh and I like teaching. And that's ironically what I've ended up being good at. I also am a noticer. Man cannot live on fry bread alone. Most Mexicans know how to work. Well, this is the thing. I will purposely. This is the thing. If you're begging for money, I have a problem with you. If you're trying to work or trying to make money, I got no beef with you. I got none at all. They're right over here by Target in Las Cruces. There's always a homeless person right there on the corner, and they always ask for money, and I always tell them no. In that same parking lot, there's a Hispanic dude selling watermelons out of his own truck bed, out of his own field. I will purposely tell the person I don't have any money and then go over there and buy a watermelon from the Mexican dude. Because fuck them, that's why. I will actively support somebody doing their grind. Like my contractor, I don't even know where he lives. I don't know if he lives on this side of the border or the other side of the border. Not my place. My contractor doesn't speak hardly any English, but god damn, his guys work their ass off. Like, there's none of this, oh, we have union dated man breaks. He's like, we're going to be here till this shit is done. Like, period. It'll be done by this day. Like, the dude is a worker, and I'm all about that, man. I'm here to get shit done. That's the way I was in the military. Like, your worth is basically what you can get done in this world. And it sucks. I wish it was better than that. But especially as a grown man, to any business, to the military, we're only worth what we accomplish. And I wish there was a better answer, but that's the reality of it. But guess what? I'm going to accomplish things. But you too as well, Matt. You're going to accomplish things, dude. Read the fucking manual. I assume panhandlers are just lazy drug addicts. Yep. That's what a lot of them are around this town. And it frustrates me because, like, I'm all about giving people a second chance, right? Like, I think everyone deserves a second chance. And this may be one of my most extreme takes out here, okay? I think you should be allowed to be Narcaned twice in your life. That's it. Like maybe a little dot tattoo behind the ear or something like that. And if they roll up and you have 2 dots, sorry, you're not getting a 3rd shot of Narcan. Not happening. I'm a very, like, you can do whatever you want to in this world, but actions have consequences. And I say that knowing that my brother and my sister have been on drugs before. I know that. I still wait to this day to find out, get a phone call that my brother died in a motorcycle accident because he likes to ride his motorcycle at over 100 miles an hour after he's bounced through 3 or 4 bars. How do I know that? Because I have him on Life 360. And when I see him doing 119 down the highway after he's been at bars from 11 in the morning until 11 o'clock at night, probably not the best decisions in life made. But it's his decision. It's his life. I'm not going to get mad at it. I'm just going to be prepared for the phone call I get when he ends up dead. What, I can't party till I drop? You got to do it. What do you think of Russia-Afghan Taliban deal? I haven't heard that they were making a deal, which is really kind of surprising to me because last I heard, Russia was not a fan of the Taliban. It's kind of our fault. CIA be doing CIA things. I haven't heard about that. I will look into it. I know that after we left Afghanistan, China tried to go in there and make deals. And China notoriously makes bad deals. Like, anyone who's like, when are we going to go to war with China? We're at war with China. It's an economic war. Sorry if that comes as a shock to some of you, but every time the United States leaves somewhere, China shows up and starts making business deals. It's been happening since I've been alive. Okay. They tried doing it with the Taliban. Then they had some bad blood with the Taliban. They got pushed out. Now I guess Russia's trying to do it. I don't know. Jim Jones here. I appreciate you old long balls. Hope to meet you sometime and trade patches. I got to get some more patches, but I'm down. I'm down, my dude. Jim Jones. I'm down. Is it bad that I'm here for the shit talk? No, it just means you're one of the OGs. Cold War 2.0. The CIA is the skunk works of government agencies. Yeah. China has 500,000 troops in Canada. This is the first I'm hearing about that. Is that a real thing, Wolfram? Are there 500,000 Chinese troops in Canada? Like, well, Chinese personnel in Canada? That's the first I'm hearing of that. And Wolfram is a Canadian, so that's why I ask. Because Canada, like, okay. I beef with Wolfram all the time, right? Like we talk shit about each other. I call him 51st state, and like we just fuck with each other, right? But Canada has a very important role to the United States, and the United States has a very important role to Canada, okay? Canada gets to be the cool, nice, hippie country because we're just armed to the fucking teeth. And we ain't gonna let anyone pick on our snowy little hat, right? Like no one's gonna pick on our fucking dude. That is our dude. The same thing with Mexico. Like we want to help them. We want to like get the cartels out of power and like let the people thrive and shit. But if Russia or China shows up and says we're gonna do that for them, we're like, oh, whoa, you fuck you. That is ours. This is our problem. You can fuck off. So like Canada has a very important role to the U.S. and we have a very important role to them. And as much shit as we give one another, no one touches my Canadians. No one touches my people, right? If something bad happened in Canada, like if there was a national tragedy in Canada, first of all, the fact that there's a national tragedy in the US or Canada or Mexico and people immediately start grandstanding on it, like, ha, look what happened to you, is fucking wild to me, right? There are allies. Like this thing going on over there in the UK with Henry Novak, that's fucked up. That is a tragedy. That's something that shouldn't have happened, right? So I stand in solidarity with the people that are over there. That makes perfect sense to me. They're an ally. Same thing with Canada. If there was a national tragedy in Canada, like let's say Canada, heaven forbid, experienced something like a 9/11, I'm not going to be grandstanding and being like, that's what you get for allowing all them into your country. No, that's fucking awful, man. No one touches my Canadians. They're basically diet Michiganders. Like that's really what they are. They're like, I mean, if people from Detroit were more hippies, that's Canada. At least that's how Windsor is. Look, I've been to Windsor. I've been to Cheetahs. Leave me alone, okay? Cheetahs is a gentleman's club. Because when you're on leave from Afghanistan and you visit your cousin and your brother up in Detroit and you're under 21, they go, you want to go get drunk in Canada and look at boobs? Yes, absolutely. One of the leeches sized me up one night, and all I can think is that my boots and jeans in August in Arizona were the sign I'm too much trouble. Oh, you're talking about like one of the people like just trying to get money from you? We have an Albertsons here in town that my wife will no longer go to alone because of all the transients that are there. That pisses me off so bad. Canada shutting down their snowbird flight demo team. I didn't hear that they were shutting down. We're far better than that. Michigan is fucked. Well, it depends on where in Michigan. Yeah, Dearborn is a lot more similar to Canada. Get it? Because Dearborn's gone like super Muslim. I'm gonna throw the jabs, right? I understand when Canada has like their internal feuds and like an American speaks up and they're like, shut the fuck up. Because I get it. It's the same here in the States. Like we have our internal feud like, oh man, can you believe what California's doing? And Canada's like, oh, you guys are just all fucked up down there, don't you know? And I'm like, fuck you, Snowback. Fuck off. This is a us problem. Like, I get it. I totally get it. Poutine is delicious. Still haven't had it. Michigander? Is that a new breed of goose? I don't know. I'm curious your opinions on black powder firearms and specifically the lack of including them in particular laws. How do I word this? I think the way that black powder weapons are currently regulated is the way that all firearms should be regulated. There isn't any. Now, you can build them yourself if you want to, or you can get them transferred from a federal firearms license dealer, and they do all the proper paperwork, check your identification, run the background check, all that stuff. That's perfectly fine. You could get a cannon mailed to your door, and I think that's the way we should be able to get weapons in this country. I'm not really sure exactly like into what aspect you want me to like expand on that. Like that's kind of the way that I look at it opinion wise. Is that the way that they're regulated is the way I think all firearms should be regulated. Plus they're really cool. Have you ever seen a black powder gun go off? There's such a big plume of smoke and shit. Cause like we use smokeless powder and things now, but yeah. Dearborn, Michiganistan. What is up? Respect, Wolfram. It's the tequila talking tonight. No, this is just a Topo Chico. Blue hibiscus extract flavored sparkling water. 0 sugar, 10 calories per can. 3% juice. Wait, you didn't pawn your invention? Respect Wolfram is... Oh, sorry. What's good for the Michigan goose is good for the Michigander. Oh, dear. We still got like a lot of time left. There are 600 people in chat. Go ahead and send me your questions. I'm just kidding. He's panting. Here it comes. Yeah, he's looking right at the camera. He's like, you guys want to see a cool trick? I can make dad vomit. I'm British. The only thing I can get muskets are fucking awesome. I thought in the UK, you could also, if you were like a farmer and you had a farming license, you could get like 12 gauges for birds. But I don't know the whole regulation there. The Christmas bullet. It sounds familiar. Is that the one where 2 bullets hit each other midair in World War I and then were later found? And maybe I'm thinking of something different. What you're saying is Canada is our bitch? Well, I wouldn't say our... I would never call Canada our bitch. I would, in jokingly, to fuck with Wolfram, but I would never say that because, as much beef as we have between each other, Canada has really come to bat for us. Like, when we activated Article 5, Canada was there. World War II, Canada was there. Like, they really have showed up for everything. I don't know if Canada participated in Vietnam. I haven't looked into that. Vietnam is not something I'm super well versed in. I know some countries did send support. The French, I believe the British did. I think that's all off the top of my head. But I also didn't even know until recently, because someone sent me a book, I still have to read it, that there was like a huge invasion of New Zealand that Australia pretty much fought by themselves without the United States. Oh, Canada was in Vietnam? See? Canada has come to bat for us. I give Canada a lot of shit, but they've showed up. I mean, it's... Compared to what we bring to the fight, it's not much, but I am very thankful for the Tim Hortons that we had at Kandahar Airfield. It's not much, but it's honest work. And before anyone's like, well, they just brought a Tim Hortons. No, they brought some troops too. The French only dropped off a post exchange. The French only did that. They didn't have any troops there. The Germans had their own little drinking area. Bastards. Canada bought Jorn, but HLC doesn't cover Jorn. I haven't looked into Jorn. That's one of the ones I wanted to look into. I just haven't had time. Maybe I'll do HLC's classroom. I've done reenacting. Yes, I've seen both live fire and powder only firing. What I find weird is how you don't need to wait for a background check. With black powder guns? Okay, so maybe not that level of unregulation. I think that people should get a background check, right? But I also think, right, it's a double-edged thing. I think, yes, background check for a firearm makes sense. Should be same-day background check, same day take out the weapon. I agree. But I also think we should have a whole lot lower threshold of sending people to insane asylums, and we should bring back asylums. If you're out in public and you're yelling at traffic as they go by, you're probably harmless. But if you're actively doing things that are dangerous to the community, you need to be in an asylum. Or at least a drug rehabilitation program. And after the drug rehabilitation program fails you, then we'll figure out what to do from there. The French had Mirage 2000Cs with their 1 or 2 bombs in Canada. Did they? I never saw the French there. I talked to a lot of different nations. And I can remember when we did a ramp ceremony, all the nations brought their troops out. That's when I saw British, I saw Canadian, I saw German. I didn't see any French. Again, they could have been there. I didn't see them. A lot of U.S., mostly U.S. presence, but I also saw Canadian flag draped coffins. So like, I give Canada a lot of shit. I give Wolfram a lot of shit, but they bled in the same sand that we did. And so, I mean, I got to have respect for that. I got to respect, showing up. You may not have been happy about it. You may not have wanted to be there. Hell, I didn't want to fucking be there. I knew that no matter how much effort and time and money we put into that country, those people were still going to fall to the first person who showed strength. I knew that. I knew that in 2010. But you still showed up anyways. And I fuck with that. So I give my Canadian friends a bit of a hard time, but I've seen them there with me. And I saw Canadian Special Forces. I didn't know they were Canadian Special Forces. I later found out they were Canadian Special Forces. I had no idea who the fuck they were. They had some weird ass rifles. I knew they weren't Taliban. They blew up something near where we were living at. They killed a couple of guys, and then they walked by with like 40 dudes zip cuffed, and they were just like, hey. And I was like, hey. They speak English. They're not Taliban, so I guess we don't shoot at them and they don't shoot at us. All right, cool. And then like later on, we found out, Reaper 7, this is Dealer 6. Fucking Captain Olberding. This is Dealer 6. Send a Dealer 6. Yeah, next time the Canadian Special Forces are operating in our AO, they told us they're going to notify us before they do the operation. And like in my head, I was just like, no, they're not. They don't give a fuck about us. We're regular Army units. No one gives two shits. Like, if they let us know, it's usually like the only other time when it comes to special operations in general, we did a QRF. It wasn't, I'll explain in a minute, for a Ranger battalion. I think it was 3rd Bat. I don't know which battalion it was. We did QRF. So middle of the night, we were like, we got to roll. Rangers need QRF. And I'm like, well, time out. You mean like the guys who are better at us, better at everything than us, need quick reaction force? What? And so we went, and we get there, and they basically were just like, hey, we blew open this door. We killed a bunch of people. We're arresting these other guys. This is in your AO. This is your problem now. That's basically the long and short of the whole situation. And we're like, okay. And they're like, where are your trucks? And we're like, we walked. We live like 2 miles that way. So we walked. We don't have trucks. Our trucks are parked like 3 kilometers south at the nearest cop. We live in an Afghan dude's house over there. And they're like, oh, that sucks. Yeah. It was... Oh, man. Let me see. Oh, sorry. P.S. Future War is not a shooting war. Go cyber, go contract, make the big bucks. I agree. Cyber, and I think we've talked about that in some of our what ifs, is that cyber is the big domain that not a lot of people are aware of right now. And that's why I will say, to the U.S. government's benefit, none of our systems talk to each other. Fucking none of them. Our people don't even talk to each other. Like, I was in Patriot. I was a professional air defender. That was my job. I know pretty much everything there is to know about Patriot. Ask Wolfram how much I know about planes. Wasn't my job title. So I've learned that mostly as a hobby. Wolfram, he's a logistician. Sorry if I'm giving away too much information. So he understands weights, loads, load plans, strapping things down, possible like cargo visas, things like that, how to get things where, but he has no idea when I say track 29, fucking Parrot Suite, has no clue what that means, but it wasn't his job. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. He knows shit. Love you too, buddy. Love you too. About aircraft. You have no idea how JDAM works. I know enough. Bomb come off plane, laser tell bomb where to guide itself, bomb hit ground, bomb explode, and then somebody made of ash blows away. I've seen the research films. Chris, thank you so much. Rich co-host Joe is in the Discord a lot. The Overserved channel has become a menace to Jaws the mod. He never knows what he's walking into. Oh, is that over on the Pepperbox Discord? I pop in there every once in a while. I haven't had a whole lot of time. Laser? Yeah, JDAMs are laser guided. They have smart bomb thingies. Their bombs can read at least a 4th grade level, which is ironically higher reading age than every member of the IRGC. Not Iranians, IRGC. 2 very different entities. Iranians, crazy fucking smart. Like ethnic Persians, been stupid successful in the United States and everywhere else in the world. IRGC touches goats. Goats and little boys are for pleasure, women are for babies type mentality, right? IRGC, ethnic Persians and Iranians. Two different groups. Big boom, missile go boom. That's about all I know. But like, there's a thing. That's why I tell people intelligence is kind of relative. Like my brother, I give him a hard time, but he busts tires. He's better at tires than I am. Probably better than I'll ever be at tires. Does that mean he's any less important than I am? Fuck no. People have tires that go out all the time. But if you put him in the van and say, hey, I need you to identify all these tracks that are inbound and kill them.
I'd intercept me.
Great seeing you tonight. Hope you and the crew are well. Specially Buff. Gotta love the old man and never forget nuggets for Franklin.
Oh, fuck yeah. He's getting so many nuggets tonight. Thank you so much, Matavo Dragon. I really appreciate it. You have plenty of aviation people that can confirm or deny what you say that is right. Weapons? Oh, weapons knows. I give that man strokes on a pretty much daily basis. And at first it was accidental, and now it's kind of a personal hobby. It really is. Thought JDAM was GPS. Is it? I know it's not inertial guidance. We don't really do that anymore. There is. So I was reading about this, okay? And no one knows what it is. And I heard about it a couple of years ago, and I kind of know how it works, but I didn't sign an NDA, but I'm pretty sure it's still not supposed to be talked about. Well, like, but there was a news article about some new type of GPS that the U.S. is going to be starting to use on some of our tactical systems that does not require satellites and is impossible to jam. And I was like, huh, I remember hearing about that a couple years ago. I guess they finally got it to work. There are also a couple of other systems out there. See, like radars need to know where they're at, which a lot of people don't realize. Like, a radar needs to know where it's at. Can it just scan the surrounding? No. It needs to know where it's at on the planet because it needs to take its relative location, its protected asset, calculate the time it would take for its missile to get to a desired location to intercept an inbound missile or an inbound plane. Like, it has to know where it is, because if the missile doesn't know where it is, it doesn't know where it isn't, and then it doesn't know where it's going, right? Math. And that's real easy for static radar systems like Patriot. Like, I set up my system figures out where it is, it's there. It's a lot harder to do on, like, say, a boat. So they use a kind of a different idea. I don't know if it's their primary system or tertiary system, but Aegis has been using that. Well, the spy system has been using that for a pretty good amount of time. Oh, we've jammed your GPS. You have no idea how little that affects that system. It's wild. Base tail kit is GPS aided and inertial guided. See, I don't know these things. I thought we got rid of inertial guidance. I tried to read something. Yeah. Happy belated birthday. Thank you so much. Hostler Productions. And many more thanks for last Friday's video. Buffs a bit. Helped me get through the day while dealing with people who shouldn't be allowed to vote. I don't want to restrict people's ability to vote, but I'm at the point now where, like, I feel like there should be an IQ test. Not to restrict it, but I just want to see. Like, can you imagine? I just want to check out. Like, if everyone in America did an IQ test and then they all voted, we could average out the average IQ of each candidate's voters. Now, I know that this could go drastically against what I expect, but I'm also really curious. Are you guys curious? I think we should do this. I really want to know. I'm just very, very curious. That is inertial guidance. Oh, so it's got like old school gyros. It takes the Air Force a little while to catch up to the Army. I'm just kidding. We kind of use inertial guidance. We use like in the back of the HIMARS, we use ring laser gyros that provide pitch, roll, and yaw. And I mean, I guess that could be considered inertial guidance, right? Ring laser gyros. Voting is the IQ test, right? I think that this is, people like, I'm curious. I'm 19. I don't need to be voting. I think that the age of voting should also be the age to drink, the age to smoke, the age to everything. Because if you can vote, if you can fight for the country, you should be able to do everything without an age restriction. Sorry, not sorry. Then either we change the voting and enlistment age to 21, or we bring everything down to 18. A civics test before you vote would help. Not wrong. Tell the kid there's a MiG inbound from Russia now for row for the picking.
Hell yeah. Am I allowed to get out of here?
No, kid. We're going to probably send up F-16s.
Oh, this is fucking bullshit. Just shove a leash up my ass, you fat fuck.
You know, it is like my birthday stream. You could be a little nicer.
Yeah, you could be a little thinner.
I got nothing. Fuck you. I yeah. I might have some kind of disorder. Hey, HLC, I'm a huge fan. Really? I'm a huge fan of you. Will you make a video about the new sighting of the flying F-47? We don't know if it's the F-47. I did see the video of it. I saw
the canards.
and it kind of triggered me. Have more beef against the F-47. Rumor nickname is Phoenix, which is a badass nickname for an aircraft. Okay. I will say that's far better than Operation Epic Fury and all these other dumb ones. Midnight Hammer. They sound like Xbox fucking gamer tags. I'm sorry. Like, we should call them what they really are. Operation Old Yeller. Putting the IRGC out of their misery. They've been slowly dying. They got rabies. We just got to put them down. Like, we should just be making fun of this. Happy birthday, Ethan, you rock. Thank you so much, Randy. I appreciate it. Australia was testing magnetic field as an unjammable version of GPS. That's not a half bad idea. That's not a half. Now, I did know that a certain country on a certain system at a certain time was testing, not going to say if this is functional or not, was testing using the elements on a radar to receive the location of where they're at on the planet based off of the electromagnetic radiation they absorb from constellations, even during the daytime. That if you tell it what time of day it is, it can read the sky and know where it's at on the planet, which is fucking wild. My anniversary escaping the womb. Flight of the Phoenix. Ooh, I think I've read that one before. I can't remember. I might have. You turn 25 next month? Look, Lawrence, not to freak you out, but it's kind of all downhill from there. Okay? I'm just... After 25, things start hurting. And when I say things, it's weird things. Like, you're like, how does my neck locked up? I literally didn't do anything yesterday. You know, why does my elbow hurt? Why are my knees cracking every time I step? It's kind of all downhill from there. But on the plus side, age is now a justifiable reason to hate younger people. So that is a good thing after 25. Isn't that just star chart reading? Yeah. But I mean, it's a system that does it in the background, so it's kind of unjammable. I've not heard of the GPS almanac. You mean almanac? There's no H at the end of almanac. Are you trying to spell almanac weapons? Fritz barked at something. I'm not going to lie. I think you look weird when you're skinny. Your old videos when you were no homo, I think you look good now. I had a personal best on bench today. Kind of happy about that. Not today, sorry, earlier this week. I benched, last time I tried to bench this, I failed. I wasn't able to get it, but this time I was. 275. My goal is 315. I don't think that's asking too much for a guy my size. 315. So that's kind of my goal. My goal. Gold. Words are hard. 25 was ages ago for me. You're 37. Hey, I'm only 36. I'm 27 in a couple months, and HLC isn't wrong. It's like this magical wheel that, like, while you're sleeping, your ghost stands up and just spins this wheel, goes, what's going to hurt tomorrow? Oh, ankles. I haven't hit ankles in a while. Now let's see how that works out. If you know me, I don't spell very well. It's okay. It's okay, weapons. I have not heard of the GPS almanac. I have not. Can you recap the math on 295 pounds? So that 295 pounds, I didn't say it clearly, right? When I did the 295 on squat, was it 295? Yeah. I had something on there and I took it off and then I put a different weight on. So it was 2 plates on each side. So that's 225. Now I'm trying to do my fucking math. All I got stuck in my head is the math from my bench press, which was 225 plus 25 on each side, which is 275. I know I did the math right because I checked it, but I didn't tell you guys in that video that I took some of the weight off and then put some back on. Ever consider doing physical security assessment, HRTAs? Have you feeling you would do quite a decent job with your knowledge and outlook on things? I considered it. I thought it would be fun once upon a time, is just like physical security assessments. I mean, I would do it kind of just if people want me to, but I look at the world in a very dark light. And that's one of the things, like Brandon and I, we disagree on some things, but we also understand that our standpoints are drastically different. My opinion and view of the world is based off of tactics and strategy. Like, that's the way my brain works, because ever since I was a young soldier, it was, how is the enemy going to kill me? How do I counter that? Now, how is the enemy going to kill me? How do I counter that? Like, that's just a constant back and forth inside your head. And you do that for months and years on end. It just, the way it is. Plus, I've also kind of seen the worst parts of the world. Brandon, on the other hand, hasn't. He looks at things from a financially responsible or fiscally responsible, which is why he and I have a reasonable disagreement about Ukraine. Because he's looking at it as like, this is not financially responsible. And I'm looking at it as, we are spending a lot of money, but 0 American lives to circumstantially cripple a near peer adversary. That is money well spent. Again, that's the way we look at things a little bit differently. On June 14th, can you reference the Falklands win? I will look into that. I don't know enough about the Falklands War. However, June 14th is also the Army's birthday. The United States Army. As the Army goes rolling along. How's the second verse go? Front to back, flank to flank, San Juan Hill and Patton's tanks, and the Army goes rolling. Yeah, most people don't know the second verse. There's like 4 or 5 verses. Don't pull a muscle flexing. I might. Can you tell us what to know out of can you tell us what you know about out of at all IR tracking radars? I only know about aircraft IR. Is there static IR radars? So what, how do I word this? Okay. So IR and radar are 2 circumstantially different things. IR is a thermal thing. Now, you can have IR tracking, but that's not necessarily a radar. Some people might refer to it as that, but a radar is pumping out electricity in the form of radio waves and or beams, depending on how it propagates. And those travel through the air, and then they bounce off of things and you get returns off of them. And that's how radar tracks things. IR strictly locks onto mostly a heat signature. I have very limited experience with IR in general, because Patriot is a track while scan radar, track while search radar, depends on where you read it. Now, when we talk about static radars, so when I did a video on like radar notching. Now, what radar notching is there's filters in a radar, right? Now, so a radar isn't, I want to see everything. It's what do I need to see? Because you have restricted amounts of power. You have restricted amounts of, range, you have all these things. So you want to try and get the most you can out of that radar. So you set filters in place so that it doesn't look at certain things. Now, one of those filters is a speed threshold, and most modern systems do this, including aircraft. Now, when you want to radar notch something, you have 2 planes coming at each other. Let's say that they're coming at each other nose to nose, and this platform picks up this platform first, gets a radar lock, and fires a missile or whatever. This guy wants to do something called a radar notch. Now, a radar notch is where you basically kind of do a hard right or left, and to their radar that is now coming at you, you have stopped circumstantially. You've slowed down enough to hopefully fit in between those filters for speed before they pick you back up again, because the radar will filter you out, right? And then you drop to the deck, and I'm not too well with air tactics. With a static system that is on the ground, it is way harder, because I don't have things flying past me. I'm sitting right there in one static location, so I can have my filters turned down way more than an aircraft would. So it's significantly harder to radar notch and evade a static ground-based system than it would be a moving system, if that makes sense. Does that? Sorry, I hope I answered your question. Sorry, Weapons, I sent you a link because I can't post it here. All right, I'll have to check it out. Weapons will probably send it to me. Words are hard. Sure would kick ass. You know what's crazy? that you guys can't see it, but I have another sword up there. That was from my students, and one of the things that they wrote on there is words are hard. Man, Holunk, I released 1 week ago, bro. Wait, what? What is happening, Animarchy? Good to see you here, by the way, buddy. For ground-based systems, your best bet is to bleed its energy. Yes. If you have the system capability to do that, or I've heard it called Nap of the Earth, Map of the Earth. I don't know what it actually is. Maybe an Air Force person can explain that to me. But if you drop down low enough, you can be filtered by trees or what we call masked terrain. Now, masked terrain at a ground-based system or a static system is at a disadvantage versus an airborne system, because a plane way up here, if it's looking down, if its radar is designed to look down, can actually see behind things because it's like a big flashlight, right? Same concept. But if you're a ground-based system, you're looking from ground level, and if there's a building, a mountain, bunch of trees, whatever in the way, you're going to lose a target behind that, which is why cruise missiles are such a significant threat to ground-based air defense systems. Not because they're fast, but because they use terrain masking and they stay low to the ground in their approach of said system. So that you have a very, very small window of being able to react to those, if that makes sense. So the aircraft, you want to keep some of that energy. Okay. See, if you terrain mask, you lose your energy. Yeah. From what I understand, when it comes to air tactics, being above is the dominant position, because dropping down, you're not going to bleed off any speed, but climbing, you're going to bleed off speed and power. I don't, again, not my tactics. My missiles fly whatever direction I need them to fly. They're rocket powered. Like, hey, they don't give a shit. Nap of the Earth. NOE is a type of low altitude flight course used by military aircraft to avoid enemy detection and attack at high threat environment. Like that. Nap of the Earth. I thought it was map. Altitude is part of your energy state. I don't know what energy states are. I know what alert states are, but I kind of said them one point in time, and apparently in other countries, not in our country, because I went and re-verified after that, but in our country, they're not considered classified, but in other countries they are. So I took that video down. How deep can these two-stage bunker buster missiles go that they keep talking about? And how deep is Iran supposedly demolished bombs? Public available information, the two-stage for the MOP, the Massive Ordnance Penetrator, off the top of my head, I want to say it's like 200 some odd feet of solid earth, which is significantly more than anybody else. I think it's like 270 feet. But they're also designing a new one, which is the NGP, Next Generation Penetrator. Giggity.
Russia's mom's going to find out about my next generation penetrator.
But yeah, also been curious, what do you use for your audio interface in your PC for the XLR in? I use a Rodecaster Pro 2. It was recommended to me by Eli Double Tap. It's a little bit pricey, but I really do enjoy it. No MiG-15 character in Pride Month. Damn, you didn't realize you were down. Disappointed in you. Oh, I know. That actually gives me an idea. I may want to do that, a MiG-15. How is words are hard with the R backwards written in crayon, not an HLC shirt? I do say words are hard all the time. That's an unknown catchphrase. It's more of a checklist. Holy shit, he remembered. I remembered what? What did I remember? What video games you play right now, HLC? Lately, I've been big into Roadcraft because I can get stoned and forget about things. And but I also play Star Citizen with Wolfram and Rogue Spy. Yeah. MiG-15s from an area from where they hid that shit. I want to go fight North Korea just so I can hear pilots say that they have a NATO reporting name for a MiG-15 inbound. Can you imagine the jokes I could make with that? Because North Korea still uses MiG-15s. It's still on their roster of like equipment. I don't know how many they have of them, but You have an idea for MiG-15? I'll hit you up. Every time you go on a knowledge dump, I always go, please don't go to jail over a reveal of TTP. No, I've even had like air defenders watch my stuff and they're like, man, you are really good at skirting that line. I'm like, oh yeah. I have to reteach myself everything because like there'll be things that I know and sometimes I have to Google something like, okay. And then I can say that. So that's why I always make sure like when people are like, how far can Patriot see? Google says 150 kilometers. What's interesting is it said 100 kilometers until the Ukraine war. Now it says 150. And that's correct. All right. Damn it, popped in at the end. I was disturbed by your yummy toast from your earlier vid. Dude, I can't believe they did that. My wife, she told me about that. She was the one who sent me that story. She's like, did you hear they made sourdough bread with yeast from a 5,000-year-old mummy's stomach? And I was like, wait, they did what? And she sent me an article on it, and I was like looking into this. I was like, why would we do this? I should have worded that better. You don't know if, or do you know of any static infrared systems that's big enough that it could track an aircraft, missiles, or munitions, or IR SIG? So let me see if I can understand what you're asking. Static IR systems, off the top of my head, maybe the Avenger, which is a Humvee with 8 Stingers on it and a 50 cal. I think the Sergeant Stout is all radar guided, but I'm almost positive the Avenger is thermal guided, although you can, in some of the newer models, you can slave it to a Sentinel radar. Potentially that, but your chances of taking down a missile, pretty slim, because it depends on the missile. A cruise missile, yes, you can catch that with a thermal guided system. Stingers have been used to great effect to take down Russian caliber cruise missiles in Ukraine. However, ballistic missiles often, usually, are not producing enough heat to get a lock on. And the systems that get those thermal locks aren't really designed to intercept those. And they're usually moving so fast that by the time you could even see one with an IR system, you wouldn't be able to hit it. So radar is the best way to go. I'm trying to think if there is any ballistic missile system that is IR guided in the world. Because the S series, 300, 400, 500 are all radar guided. The Iron Dome, which is, low, it's TBM alphas mostly, but that's radar guided. The not IFPIC, what am I thinking of? NASAMS, radar guided. Patriot, radar guided. THAAD, radar guided. Aegis, radar guided. Does anyone know, like, I honestly, off the top of my head, I've never even thought about Chaparral. Well, Chaparral's not really in service with us anymore, but yeah, Chaparral was thermal guided because he used AIM-9s. But I don't know if you could hit a ballistic missile with enough force with an AIM-9 to actually do anything to it. I don't know. Pantsir Tunguska has an IR Cyclos override its missile system, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But I think those are considered like short range air defense, and those aren't really designed for ballistic missile threats. Like cruise missiles, fast movers, drones, I'm pretty sure, but... Huh. I guess I'd never really thought about that. I'm sorry, I wish I had a better answer for you, Malak White. I think that's how you say that name. Perfect way for me to think about golf is launching missiles into the hole. I'm going to be the greatest golfer ever. Then all I got to do is just get DUIs. That's what they do, right? Cops and NFL players beat and kill their wives. Golf professionals get DUIs. Basketball players... drug charges? Also forgot to say his happy birthday, HLC. I've been watching your videos since basic. I've been a tanker for almost 3 years in the M1A2 SEP V2. That was my old tank. The SEP V2. I bet they still got bitchin' Betty inside that damn thing and she never shuts up. Driver's hatch open. Gun turret drive inactive. Shut up. I'm going to override that shit. Actually, the did's on the right side. Can't remember. How dare you call it John Jones? All right, guys. Malako, bro, made me. Oh, my bad. So thank you all so much for being here. We went a little bit over time, but we had some really good air defense questions that I had never really looked into. So thank you all so much for being here. If you'd like to support the channel, please go to habituallinecrosser.com. Go ahead and get yourself some merch. But again, the cheapest and easiest way to watch or to support me is just watch my videos, and that's all I ever ask you guys. I'll see y'all next time. I might talk to Bunker about a Words Are Hard shirt. See you guys.